you can truly feel the story hitting its climax, hitting its conclusion, finding its closure as things are starting to wrap up between everyone. Loose ends are starting to come loose. And or you can say tied apart. Or I said something wrong, but I'm gonna keep continuing anyways. One of the things I appreciate about Fruits Basket is something that a lot of manga still do, but they're not animated. Manga that does a lot of self monologue, as in each character expresses and tells the viewer what they're going through, how they're feeling, and using some sort of metaphor for it. And it gets you really engaged with the character, whether you can relate to them or not. It's the reason why I love Bruce Baskets so much, man. How sometimes they'll say some very deep stuff, man. It's not just on a whim. It's just in that conversation, within that situation they're in. And when they do speak about themselves and what's happening around them or what they're going through, you feel more engaged. Like, you know what? I get you, bro. I completely understand what you're talking about. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But most of the times, I do. Now, that being said, a lot of things I got from this episode, from moving on to wanting to be like someone, that envy. I remember in the first week of the World Interview, which I am reviewing, by the way, of the animation, Shiki was jealous of her best friend. And we're always told that envy is a terrible thing. Anything of the seven deadly sins is a terrible thing. But it's all about perspective, really. The point of view. Um, Sometimes these seven deadly sins can be used for a good thing, you know? For instance, she was envy of her friend, but like you said, that you being envy of her could be a good thing. It means you have a goal. You want to be something. You want to be like someone. And if you want to strive for that goal, go and be it. Have we ever admired someone or felt jealous of them because how amazing they were? So we kind of wanted to be just like them, but couldn't. It can go different ways. Sometimes it goes the bad way, where you become stuck in your own spitefulness, your own pittiness, and you become something worse. Or like, you know what? I kind of be like this person, but I gotta find out how I can. So you go around that route to see what you can do to better yourself. So that's exactly what I got from this week on the Fruits Basket, especially between the conversation with Keon and Yuki. You know, how Yuki finally found Keon because he was, being Keon, all guilty and ashamed of himself. He felt like he had to be that superhero. He had to be that person that could never fail. And that's how he saw Yuki. Yuki was that person, that perfect person, the rat that was closest to God. So therefore he was the most blessed. And since he was the most blessed, he could never do any wrong in his eyes. So if Keon could get at least one victory over him, he felt like he has beaten someone that's supposed to be perfect. But in the day, Yuki was never perfect. He was tired of everyone seeing him as a perfect being. He had his own flaws too. But when he heard Kyo saying he wanted to be like him the entire time, maybe he could have saved Toru, is when he got upset. For two reasons. One, don't put that pressure on me. I am not that big. And two, I want to be like you because you felt like you were more free. No one had no expectations in you. Therefore, you were free to do as you please. You're free to do as you want. So how dare you say that? And not only that, you said it before I did. So, of course, he beat up Kyo, and Kyo took it. He didn't fight back or anything like that. So you know how much he has matured. In fact, if you slowly realize throughout the seasons of Fruits Baskets, he stopped being more violent, or they stopped fighting with each other. They finally start to grow up and mature. Like, we're just acting like kids. They're slowly having their past free to let go of, which is great. Which led on to the next part of the moving on when it came to Akito and Kion. You know, first with Akito, he had to apologize for all the wrongdoing she had done. So like that, even she met Toru's friends, and Toru's friends forgave her, saying even Toru said that it's not her fault. These terrible things just happen. Of course, I go to let you know that Kurina's also there. So one of Toru's friends is able to finally reconnect with Kurino. Congratulations for her. Yeah, Akito's at the main estate, hearing that Kyo's father wants him to be, locked away. But however, Aito is going to fully destroy the family tradition. Now that the Zodiac Curse is breaking, there's no point of keeping these traditions no more, holding down to the past. Therefore, she has decided to destroy that room once and for all, and moving on. However, of course, one of the old residents there, the one that took care of her, one of the maids, head maid, I'm guessing, who kind of played their part into the misfortune that was going on through all these years, says how she can't move on. Some old people can't move on. They're old. They can't change. They've known this one way of life for so many years, and sometimes you can't teach an old horse new tricks. Sometimes there's only so much they can learn as they get older. They can't accept so much, especially when their life themselves is about to expire. Sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. It all determines on the person and who they are. So, and the same thing with Kyo and his father. The father is there, stuck in his past. Can't do anything but blame everyone but himself, and which is going to the point. Turns out the real reason why the mother committed suicide was really because of the father. The father just kept blaming the mom, and Kyo just kept blaming them. And when the mom finally did took her life, once again, the father didn't take any responsibility and so just blamed the kid instead. So Kyo felt like that until he realized this conversation that he's having with his father now is something he had with him and his father again, but with his mom. So realizing the father just didn't want to take any responsibility, he was running away from his own mistakes, and he didn't know what to do. So Kyo said, no, I'm going to choose to live despite what happened. I'm moving on. I have someone I love, so I'm going to do this no matter what. Same thing with Yuki, if Yuki finally found someone for him to love, and he's out there rushing towards it. Everyone just rushing, both Yuki and Kyo. Kyo finally decides to go visit Toru. By the time they meet eye to eye, she runs off. She runs off. Like, girl, you just got in the hospital. You're not supposed to run off. And wasn't there really that thing? I don't know if it's Japan, but I know in America, if you stay in the hospital, you have to leave out of the wheelchair. It's the rules. So, with that being said, this girl not only left out about being inside a wheelchair, but she also started running. And so Kyo ran after her. And we wait until the next episode to see what happens next. Man, what a way to end an episode. Crazy. Whew, man. I really do hope that they animate another manga like Fruits Baskets. There are some out there that I'm reading and that I have read that are just like Fruits Baskets. Some better, some worse. It all depends on your flavor of taste. But nonetheless, I hope they pay more attention to these kind of things and make them more, because they're way better than some of the typical ones they decide to animate these days, where it's too cliche and the same tropes and stuff like that. No true character development. You get them here and there, but not like this one. This one was special. So anyway, that's all I got for this video. This really made me happy. I enjoyed it. Got a lot of life points out of it, and I hope you guys did too. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. This has been Madcrown on Anime, signing out.